Nique. On my way to my final decision meeting with Dr. Martin, coming from work. So, I haven't been approved for my insurance yet for surgery yet, so this appointment will be pretty much them going over things that I already know. So, they said they were working on my claim yesterday when I called to schedule this appointment. So it should be about a week and then I'll have a date. But I'll give you guys an update when I find out more information. Okay, bye. Hello. It's Nique. Alright.
And her.
Yeah. So, this video will talk about my... What is that called?
Your final decision meeting.
Yeah, final decision meeting. So that was last Tuesday, or was it this Tuesday?
This Tuesday. As you can see, she didn't film the video after her appointment like she was supposed to.
Yeah, so it was Tuesday.
It's Friday, September 1st, actually.
Yeah, so I worked all this week, and it's Friday. And so that appointment was just a weigh-in and talking with the surgeon about things that we've already talked about. That I personally I like the experience that I've had so far to a certain extent. And I feel like they want more money, like, out of people, like, just to be completely honest, because we have these appointments and things, and some of them are really important towards the next steps, but in the long run, I think that they drag these things out purposely so that they can get more money. And I'm not bashing anyone or anything like that, but it's like they prey on people that are waiting to do something that is really important in their lives, and it takes a big step to get to the point where you're saying that you want to have surgery, like weight loss surgery, and it's like they drag out this process purposely. So with my insurance, they waive the monitored weigh-ins monthly if you're above a certain BMI, which we both fell into that category, which was, it's a 12-month wait period, which usually, depending on insurance, it can be anywhere from that 6 to 12 months. But ours is 12 for the insurance that we have. But it kind of seems like they purposely drag out your process, so regardless of whether you have that wait for your insurance, you're still going to have it regardless, even if your insurance doesn't require it, and make these little appointments, these meaningless appointments, just so they can get some money. Like, I had to leave work early so that I could go to this appointment. They tried to schedule it like a month from now, saying that the surgeon was going to be busy and he's not going to be in certain locations and certain things like that. So I either had to take off work or take a couple hours off work so I can get to this appointment the next day. So she calls and I have to take an appointment the very next day. I have to work, so that's inconvenient to me. And then I say all this so we get to the appointment and we talk about things that we talked about in the seminar appointment that was months ago. Mm-hmm. So it's just, I hate to say, but I'm a little frustrated with the process in general. But it's not going to stop me from having the surgery. It helps to talk about things like that. And if anyone else is going through that, just know that the process it's not on your time and it's not catered to you. It's definitely catered towards getting your money. Mm. But it's for the good of us, so I guess we deal with what we have to deal with, and that's what these videos are for people to watch and know that there's other people out here that have gone through the same thing that you may be going through, and know that the process sucks to get to it, but once you get there, it's rewarding. But, so at the appointment, I haven't been authorized by my insurance for surgery yet, so I'm waiting for the approval, which takes about a week for the insurance that we have. So at this appointment, usually the schedulers will come in at the end and give you a surgery date, but since I don't have authorization, they didn't do that. So I met with the surgeon, and he said that, he went over all the stuff that we already knew. And then he said the surgery schedulers would call me the next day and give me a tentative surgery date. And that tentative surgery date would be locked in place after I get the authorization back from my insurance. So that was that. And then the next day, the next day I worked, but I checked my phone kind of frequently just to make sure I wasn't missing any important calls or anything. And I didn't get a call from anyone. So around 3:30, I called the office, and of course the surgery schedulers were not there. That's another frustrating process, is actually getting in contact with someone. Like, if you are not in the office physically talking to someone in person, you can't get a hold of anyone. And it's not like I'm trying to call and talk to the surgeon or talk to doctors or anything like that. I'm trying to talk to schedulers, and those are usually the number one people you can get a hold of. I can't even get a hold of a scheduler. So I left her a voicemail stating, hey, the surgeon himself has told me that I will be getting a tentative surgery date today. I haven't heard from you guys, and just give me a call back. So I didn't hear anything that day. That day went past, and so the next day was Wednesday, something like that.
Yeah.
Thursday. So that day came, and I worked again. I worked all week, and I work in a hospital, so I don't get that good of reception. So my phone won't ring, but I'll have voicemail. So I checked my voicemail. I had a voicemail from the doctor's office, and she left a voicemail and said that she was just trying to touch base with me. So I called her back, and she said typically we don't give tentative surgery dates to patients that don't have authorizations. So I found that weird because the surgeon himself told me otherwise. And another thing that kind of grinds my gears is when someone tells me, oh, well, we typically don't do this, but then we'll do this. Because she turned right around in the same sentence and said, well, we'll make an exception for you. I don't think, if those are not your rules, then why are you telling me they're not the rules? I'm not the one bending your rules. Like,
right.
The surgeon himself, which he's the one that does the surgeries, I'm sure he knows how the process works. If that's not how your process works, then someone should give him coaching and not me. So she turns around and says they don't do that, but she'll give an exception for me and give me a tentative surgery date. So she checks her calendar, and she gives me October 4th. And I said, October 4th? He has October 18th, and he's on a wait list. Why are you guys giving me October 4th? And then she says, yeah, I have October 4th for a sleeve. I'm not having sleeve. Why are you trying to give me an appointment for a sleeve? So then I got nervous because this is the lady that submitted my claim to my insurance company. She doesn't even know what I'm having. So I thought, well, I'm not having sleeve. She's like, oh, you're not having sleeve. Okay. Well, both of our surgeons are coordinating the bypasses together, so they're going to be doing the surgeries at the same time, like they're going to both be in the OR. So they have a huge backlog for doing gastric bypass, apparently, which is turning out to be like months. So she says, I'll give you a call back after we get a game plan, which was kind of left open-ended. And I said, well, are you going to call me back today, or are you going to call me back? When are you going to call me back? Longest awkward pause ever. And she says, I'll give you a call back today. I wasn't expecting to get a call back from her. But she called me back like an hour later. And we played phone tag back and forth because it's hard when I'm working and she's busy. So she left a voicemail. I called her back, and she said, I have a date for you, which is what you want to hear. That's what you want to hear. And she said, okay, your date is going to be December 5th. So tentatively, I am having surgery on December 5th.
Yay!
I am while that is still 3 months away, I am gonna take it and be happy to even have a date because, like, I don't want to sound negative or anything, but the process has not been that long. But in the time that it has been, it just seems like you get kind of the runaround, and I don't know if that's just a doctor thing or not, but it just really feels like this is a process where you should not get the runaround. But I'm happy to have a date. I have goals to work towards up until that date anyway, so I have things that I could be doing and working towards to get ready for surgery. So I'll use the time wisely, and I'm sure December will be here before we know it. So that's kind of that. Like we're the light is at the end of the tunnel, and now we both have surgery dates.
That is true.
So
our initial consult was what, like June?
It was in June.
June 27th, I think. So that was the end of the month. So basically July, August, September, October. So about 4 months for me. November, and about like 5 for you. It's from like start to actual surgery date. Which delayed initially when we called and made the appointments for the consultation. She said that, typically that's like the minimum is like around 3 to 5 months. But still, I feel like agreeing with her, like it could have been a lot quicker.
Yeah, and I think that the reason that they are saying this is it's not because things are just designed for it to take 5 months. It's because they're purposely taking 5 months. Just like when I met with the PA a couple weeks ago, or that was last week, and she's like, well, do you want to continue? Do you want to come back in 3 months? Why would I come back in 3 months? I've met all the goals and all the requirements you guys have asked, and you are just going to string me along at this point? Like, if you're not pushy with people, then you won't get anywhere. Because at that point, and you don't have to be rude either to do it. Like, you just have to speak up. Because if I didn't say anything about it, she would have never even submitted my claim. I would still just be waiting around. Like, so make the process work for you, because it's not really their goal to just get you in and get you done. It's kind of just stringing you along, because they can make the process as long as they want to and get those monthly weigh-ins, and then they get consultation fees and all those things. If you're coming out of money to pay for this surgery, which is anywhere from $10,000 to $20,000, every penny is gonna count. And while we're not paying out of pocket for it, someone still is paying for it. Insurance is still paying for it, and it's not fair. It's not really fair to just do that to people, especially when you're meeting all the requirements and you're meeting your goals as well. Just give people what they want. But anyways, it's still a happy moment. We still have a surgery date, so I'll stop complaining.
That's all right. Proud of you. Happy for you. October 18th, December 5th.
Yeah.
Cool beans. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty much it. Dieting's been pretty hard.
I was gonna do our separate video talking about that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. So, see you guys. You guys do what?